If, like me, you're a fan of Time Crisis, I think you're going to be wanting to watch this. And a very big welcome back, y'all, and thanks for joining me for my Undercover review. As a youth, I pumped loads of money into games like Time Crisis in the arcades and felt there was nothing quite like picking up those guns and just blasting at the screen. And while yes, alright, admittedly, playing them on my PlayStation still felt pretty decent. And yes, you could buy the gun peripheral, but sadly, I never had one of them. Never. So kind of missed out on that feeling. But you know what? I'm an adult now. I own a Meta Quest 3, and bloody hell, VR was built for this damn thing. And thus, when I got the opportunity to review Undercover, I took it, obviously. Undercover is a light gun cover shooter inspired by the classics. Time Crisis. Time Crisis. First off, you can play Undercover in sitting or standing. In the standing mode, you basically take cover by ducking, and that also reloads your gun. Although I will say that I could feel my knees starting to fray every time I had to duck down and back up again, although it was pretty cool. In sitting mode, there was a button which basically ducks you with your knees sighing a sense of relief. Undercover can also be played in co-op, but you'll need a code and obviously a friend to do it with. Which is actually kind of a shame because I really would have probably liked to have jumped into a few games with, I don't know, even random people. Although if there is some way of doing this and I've missed it, then someone let me know down in the comments. Anyway, you get to choose from two characters, and both characters have two different types of guns. And depending how you actually like to play your shooter games, this all depends on which gun or character that you so choose. There are also two different routes that you can take. There's a kind of left and a right, and you can swap them over so that you can travel whichever one you want. Maybe there's a little bit of replayability there. The story was okay. It was kind of like one of those take down the bad guy and stop him from doing something to mass population, blah, blah, blah. It was kind of interesting plus cringy, and the buddy cop type thing felt a little bit cringy as well. Although saying that, there were some quite cool cinematic old school type scenes, and I did like the communication type back and forths that they had, and the fact that you can use your gun to shoot them and frizz up the screen and things like that. And talking about shooting, there's quite a few different things you can shoot within the actual environments. There are an okay amount of enemies, although some of them kind of like repeat quite often. There are environmental things like barrels and like these pipes that you can shoot that explode and kill or damage enemies. And there is quite a few different weapons that you can pick up temporarily by shooting the box, which is pretty cool, and then shooting the gun, and then you can have like twin submachine guns and shotguns and all sorts of different weapons to use for a limited time. As you would expect from a game like this, you're not actually moving around, you're staying static. Although you do move around the environments by looking at your character's silhouette, and then it advances you to a different area. I actually quite like that. And I will say, hopefully, if you get motion sickness, I don't think you'll get it here. I think I got one or two times where I've like almost lunged myself forward. That was my own stupid fault for leaning over something and then trying to get myself back again. I would definitely say that the dodge or duck mechanics works quite well, getting out of the way of things and being able to reload your weapon. All seem to work for me flawlessly. And just like the olden days, you even get continues after you've, well, bit the bullet, so to speak. I'm not quite sure that if you're into your shooters and you like to move around and do a lot more than just shooting statically, whether you'd probably get anything out of this one. But then I'm kind of in that category as well, and I did enjoy this game. Although for my want for standing and playing VR games, my knees are still recovering. Maybe give this video a like and subscribe just to help my knees recover a little bit faster. Graphically, Undercover is very retro. It looks pretty cool, crisp, very colourful, and it really did hit them member berries for me when I was younger playing these sort of games in the arcades. Likewise, the sound was, as you expect, very over the top, very loud. The music was okay, although I did turn it down, so can't be that good for me. Although I'm not really that much of a music lover in games, and very, very rarely keep the sound at full blast when I play games. But it was very retro and it did have that feel to it. And with that, let us get on with the workout rating, shall we? Well, to be honest with you, if you're sitting down and playing this game, there really isn't much of a workout. Your arms maybe, but I wouldn't really say that you're going to be gaining much from it standing up. However, pretty well the same. Apart from ducking, which I suppose is lunging in a kind of way, then you're kind of pretty well the same as sitting. I wouldn't say it's very intensing, although it is pretty hardcore on your knees. But I would still probably say this is only a 4 out of 10. A little bit of a light exercise for you. And with the exercise out of the way, let us look at what the actual score is, shall we? Well, I would definitely say I enjoyed playing Undercover. Not as much as some other games that I've played recently, but it certainly brought back those member berries. And I did appreciate, and forgot to mention, fully voiced.
Initiation ends here with a formal 1-to-1. Oh, please be a mech suit.
And I really do appreciate that. I'm going to give it I was going to go for a 6, but I think I'm going to go for a 7. Because I found the amount of content pretty decent. I didn't find it too easy. I died quite a few times and had to restart.
Red! Come on!
Which kind of is a good thing, because I've played a few games just like this one that are too easy, and yeah, you just blow through it and it just feels like you've wasted your money. And I do feel that if you're into Time Crisis and games like that, you will get a kick out of this one. Although it would be quite interesting to see how many of you are actually interested in picking this one up because you played games like Time Crisis and the like when you were younger. And likewise, if you're that sort of person that goes more for the run, gun, shooty type games in VR, like Pavlov and all that lot, leave a comment down below whether you'd actually go for a game like this. And with that, I say thank you for joining me. It would be really cool of you that if you enjoyed this content, to like the video. Also, if you're a repeat viewer, or indeed you've enjoyed this video that much, consider subscribing. And also come and join us in our community Discord. The link is down below. Again, thank you very much, you wonderful, wonderful people. Take care out there, wherever you are. Because life is better when we game together.